Hello, everybody. It's April 9th, 2024. Yesterday, we had a total solar eclipse on PEI, and it was quite remarkable. It was really something to behold, and I was delighted that it was sunny here. We had clear skies. The day before, it was cloudy. Today, it's cloudy, but yesterday was the finest day we've had in over a month. And of course, sunny day on PEI. We get an eclipse. Perfect. Anyway, so what am I doing today? I'm going to look at my currently inked pens. And I'm going to talk about some inks I haven't used that often lately, and some inks that I like, and a problematic ink. I'll save the problematic one to the end, and we'll talk about it. And anyway, so how many pens do I have today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Actually, you know what? Is that even inked? Let me think. Let me see. Yes, it is. Okay. So yeah, 18 pens. And I put, I've 18 pens. That's a lot. Anyway, so we're just going to run through what we have here. It's always kind of fun to look at videos like this for me. I don't do them too often, but here we go. So, well, I'll start with this. This is my Twisbi Eco, one of my Twisbi Ecos, and Twisbi Eco. And I have, of course, in this, it's a workhorse pen, so I have platinum carbon black in this pen. Carbon black is one of those colors for me that kind of a workhorse ink, really. And I put it in a workhorse pen mainly because, I don't know if I'd put carbon black in a very expensive pen. I've not had any problems, but I like to use this pen for drawing and signing things, labels, envelopes. Carbon black, when it dries, it's very durable. It doesn't seem to bleed. I've used it with watercolors. You can paint right over it, and it doesn't run or anything like that or stain. So it's a very durable ink. And so I put it in this beautiful little Eco. And an Eco, Twisbi makes very nice writing pens, but they're also workhorses. So yeah, so platinum carbon black is in that. I'm just going to randomly pull pens out of here. This is a really nice little, of course, Pilot Prera. And it's one of those. It's a Pilot pen. It's very nicely made. It writes beautifully. It looks nice, and yeah, I love using it. It's kind of something you can toss in your pocket, and it's a well-made little pen. Very smooth writer. And I have Diamine. What is it? Diamine Aurora. No, yeah, Aurora Borealis in this, and I actually. Borealis. I had used Borealis quite a bit for a while there, and then for some reason it sort of fell out of rotation. So I just thought I'd put it in this nice little writer. It seems to work beautifully, and it's a nice ink. Diamine. It's always something I like using. And as you can see, there's not much left in there. So it's almost written dry. I'll put something else in it afterwards to see how I like it with other inks. Maybe something kind of on the reddish tone. Now then, what else do I have? So this is a pen that I haven't used that much lately. This is a Reform. And it's a student pen. Reform was a German company, West Germany. And they made really nice little pens, particularly famous for the Reform 1745, which I have, but I don't have inked at the moment. And, this is a nice looking pen. It's plastic. It's light, but I feel it was made for the student market, and but it's a smooth writer. It's very nice. It's a nice little pen, and I have in it Reform. It has J. Herbin Green Empire, or nice little greenish ink, and it's in this pen. It's very dark. It's very dark when it comes down, and if you rub it there, it's just sort of this sort of mossy green color with almost some black overtones in it. It's a nice ink. One I don't use that much actually, but I thought I'd break it out and put it in that little Reform just to see how it goes. And I'll stop kicking the camera. This here is a Sailor Mini from 1963. So Sailor was the first company to produce a pocket pen, what we became known and have come to know as a pocket pen. Pilot still makes a pocket pen, the E95S, which oddly enough I don't have inked at the moment. Okay, so yeah, so what do I have in this? I'm just randomly hitting it. So it has Diamine Oxford Blue in it, which is one of my favorite blues. And I thought this pen, I'd forgotten that I had this pen inked up. And I'm actually quite impressed. It's been a little while since I've actually picked it up to write with, and it writes immediately. So 1963, thereabouts. As you can see, it has an interesting clip, sort of a wire. And from the research I've done, that was the first clip used on the Mini, and then they changed it the year after. So it's been through, it's gotten some use. It's a little bit scuffed up, but it's still a very nice little pen. Piece of history. I love this little pen. It's a great little pen. Anyway, what's this? This is a Geha, another German company, and it is the Geha 708. And once again, I would refer to this as a student pen. It's plastic. It's made to look more expensive than it probably was. When you look at the clip, it's sort of reminiscent of Pelikan. So, but otherwise, it's a very well-made pen. Student pens, I find, are great writers, and they're very well made. So this is a lovely little pen. So yeah, so it has in it another ink that I haven't used for a little while, Sailor. Sailor Gentle ink, and this is Grenade. And it's almost a fluorescent kind of reddish fuchsia ink, and it works quite nicely in this little pen. It's nice. It's a nice ink. It's one I haven't used that much lately. So yeah, it's nice to try it again. Put it back in rotation. This is my Diplomat Arrow. Diplomat is one of the underrated pens, in my opinion. So the Diplomat Arrow, and what do I have in it? I have a little list over here. Oh yeah, another ink I haven't used in a little while, Monteverde's Brown Sugar, which in this pen, actually in all the pens I've tried it in, is a really beautiful brown. If you like brown inks, you know, there's some nice ones out there. And I was just noticing, actually, looking at my list, that for some reason I seem to be using 4 different brown inks at the moment. So yeah, Brown Sugar by Monteverde. It's a nice, dark, rich, chocolatey brown, really. So almost, maybe it's a burnt sugar. Maybe that's the idea. I don't know. We'll find out. This is my Montblanc Montblanc 320, and I'm pretty sure it has Waterman's Serenity Blue. This is an older pen from the late 60s or early 70s, and Waterman is just such a stable, safe ink for older pens, or so I've been told, and I seem to find that is true. And I love Serenity Blue. It's a beautiful blue. And oops, my finger's a little dirty. And I haven't actually written with this pen for about a week, and it still writes out of the box, which is always nice. This is my Pilot capless. And beautiful pen, beautiful pen. I really like this pen. And at the moment, I have Private Reserve Avocado in it. Now, I've had Avocado in a couple other pens, and it's a very nice ink. And Private Reserve, I like, I've tried a few Private Reserves. I like what they make. They make inks that are quite nice. This is a nice little Diplomat again, one of the underrated brands, I would say. So this is the Diplomat Magnum. And I have Noodler's Walnut in this pen. Now, actually, there you go. You get a nice, actually, I should use a different finger. Yeah, so walnut. It comes, it looks quite, I've had walnut in different pens, and it looks quite different in the Magnum. A little darker. It seems to be a very wet pen, so it's a very nice ink in this pen. Everything looks nice in this pen so far. And I was wondering if might have been a little bit of residue from the previous ink still in the feed. I washed it out. I washed it out quite well. But I'll have to try walnut in another pen to see what it looks like after I write this one dry. I'll try it in a different one. But yeah, it's a lovely brown. For some reason, I've been using browns a lot, and I'm quite enjoying them. This here is my Aurora 88. And once again, this has an ink in it that I haven't used in a little while. I'll tell you why. So the Aurora is a very wet pen. And I put an ink in it that I've not used a lot. Koyo no Oto number 5 Anobi, which I found to be a very nice ink, but almost too dry in some of my other pens. I had it in a couple fine pens and a couple different ones. But in the Aurora 88, it is particularly nice. And it's a small manufacturer, Japanese inks. And yeah, so this pen is such a wet writer that that ink works particularly nice in it. And I bet you it would look great also in the Magnum, just from experiencing to see how it writes. So yeah, maybe I'll try that actually in the Magnum in the future. Of course, my little Twsbi Vac Mini. Excuse my voice, it's a little raspy today. So I have, this is a lovely pen, Twisbi Vac Mini. It's like a workhorse pen, of course, holds a ton of ink. And I put an ink in it that I haven't used in a little while. I sort of tried to use some inks that I haven't been using a little while. And this is Diamine Dark Forest. Yeah, which is a lovely ink. And it flows very nicely in this Twisbi, and it looks nice in the barrel. As you can see, I am almost empty. So I've been using it quite a bit. So it's not always nice to try something that you haven't used in a little while. My Lamy 2000. What did I put in my 2000? I can't remember, and I don't seem to have it written down. I am slowly looking at my list here that I've quickly written down. Oh, actually, I know what I put in that. What is that? I'm sorry, I have no recollection of what I put in my Lamy 2000. I can't find it on my list. But anyway, that's okay. It's a blue ink, a little dry, don't know what it is, and that's embarrassing. Okay, so here is my Pilot Custom 74. Now, I have to say that the Custom 74 is such a nice pen. Very wet writer. It has a soft medium nib in this pen. And I have Irashizuku Tsukushi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is like beautiful brown ink. And I am under the impression that it is discontinued. But other people tell me that you can still find it out there in the wild. It's a very nice ink, very nice ink. Another brown that I've been using. I should do a video comparing my browns. Let's just go straight to another brown. This is a Sailor. Pro Gear 2. And I have in it, oh, and it's a hard, broad nib. And I have Pelikan. $4001 Brilliant Brown, I believe it's called. Which is a nice brown. It's quite red. There's quite a bit of red. It's a very dry ink. And it works nice though in the Sailor. The Sailor's a nice pen. Of course, another nice pen is, of course, my Pelikan. What do I have in my Pelikan? It has a I am so unprepared for this. It has it has the oh, it's diamine lilac blue. Which is a nice ink. Once again, it's one that I haven't used a lot, and it looks really nice in that pen. Now this is my Cross Solo. You know what? Actually, it's not lilac blue. It's lilac night, diamine lilac night. And I actually have this, and I remember now what I did. I Cross Solo, and I have the same ink in this. Yeah, lilac night. And I was just fooling around with different nib widths and trying to see how they look together. So it's also one I haven't used a lot, and it seems to work quite nicely in this pen too. It's kind of a dry ink. It's hard to describe it. Not particularly vibrant, but very nice. Now this is a little Sailor pocket pen. I have a similar. I have the other one too. These are pretty much the same model, just different finishes. The caps are different. Um, and I'm not too sure what year these are from, but I'll find that out someday. So this has, so the one with the black cap, um, sail pocket with the black cap, I put Diamond Oxford Blue in it. I really love pocket pens. They're a lot of fun. You know, you put the cap on it and becomes a full-size pen. And yeah, so it's a sailor pocket pen, probably from the late 60s, early 70s. And I put one of my favorite blues in it. Diamine Oxford Blue is in this one. And I think I put this in it because I had tried another ink in it, and I found it kind of dry and sort of weak. And I put the Oxford Blue in it, and it's a fine nib on this, very fine nib. So it looks very nice in this pen. So yeah, blacks and dark blues will work quite nice in that, preferably a wet ink. And this one here, the Silver Cap Sailor, and this has a medium nib. And I actually just have a cartridge in it, and it's Sailor Blue. I bought a box of cartridges, and so the Sailor Blue ink is in this. And actually, it's very nice. It's very nice. I think I had the cartridge in the other one too. Actually, I tried the cartridge in this one, and I didn't like it as much in that one. But in this one, for whatever reason, is a much wetter pen than the fine nib, so it worked really nicely with the cartridge. So yeah, just this seemed to be a bit too fine. The medium nib in this seems a bit juicier, and the cartridge works really nicely. So anyway, yeah, so there we have it. What I have on the go right now. I actually will talk about the fact that I'm really enjoying the browns, especially the Irashizuku Sakushi, yeah, and the Monteverde brown sugar. I like the Noodler's walnut, and I like the Pelikan brilliant brown. Probably like the other three more. But Monteverde brown sugar, that's a really nice ink. And of course, so is the Sakushi. I pronounce that different every time. My maritime accent is kicking in. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about an ink that's been kind of problematic, and that's in this one here. And it's the avocado. I've had it in a couple other pens, and I've never had this problem happen before. Don't know if you can see it, but it gets crusty. So if I put the pen away for a little while, I come back, you can see sort of a green buildup around the nib. The longer I leave it, the more it happens. That's fine. You just take a wet paper towel, or just wash it off, and the pen writes fine. Now I've had that happen. So this is the Private Reserve avocado. So I'm having a buildup of incrustation, and I only had that happen with I'm trying to think of it. I had it happen with another Private Reserve ink, and it was an orange crush, I think it was called. And it seemed to do that with any pen I put it in. It would develop a crust. And that happens a lot more. I've heard it happens a lot more with oranges and reds. And I had the avocado in another pen before, actually a couple other pens, and I didn't have that happen with the avocado. But for whatever reason, there's something about the mechanism on the vanishing cap. The pilot vanishing point, it's a retractable nib. And for whatever reason, it allows a crustacean to build up. So I'm going to probably clean this out later today and put something else in it. see what else I like. And maybe I'll put the private reserve avocado in a, actually, maybe I'll put it in my, maybe I'll put it in the probably the Prera, just to see how it works. This has a slip and seal cap. It's very airtight. So it'd be interesting to find out if the avocado in the airtight slip and seal cap doesn't or does get the crustaceans building up around them. That'll be something to look forward to finding out. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Just me rambling on. Excuse my voice. I'm a little hoarse today, a little raspy, but that's okay. Anyway, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel. If you're new around here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. It's just me talking about a lot of things that I really don't know much about. I just do this for the fun of it, kind of a hobby. So anyway, I invite you to join the channel, and I have lots of other videos, and I'm always talking about stationery products and things like that. And anyway, I hope you're all well. If you saw the eclipse yesterday, let me know in the comments. How was it where you were? It was fantastic here on Prince Edward Island. So anyway, I hope you all have a nice day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.